Welcome to another episode of Exploring the Vintage NFT Space podcast with ZeroG. Today, I'm excited to have with me Rare Pepe OG artist and all-around creative Pepe Leap. Thanks for joining me today.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me. How are you?
Yeah, great. Yeah, I was really looking forward to chatting with you today. You've got quite the extensive library of, of Rare Pepes you created.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah,
Which one do you, which, can I ask, which one is your favorite?
Power to Pepe. Yeah,
Power to Pepe.
yeah, man.
Power to Pepe.
That's one that always stood out to me, and I remember just waiting until there was one cheap enough I could actually get a couple years ago, and I snagged that. It was always stood out to me because I really liked the message on that one. So,
Man, I still got your address. Guess what? I just really like that message you just gave me, so I'm giving you some more. How about that?
oh Jesus.
All right. Where they, I got some still on this address. I know I do. Hold on.
No, that's very
Let's,
generous of you.
got you, brother. Yeah, I got some on this one. Here, I'm sending 7 over to you.
Wow, that's awesome.
All I ask, don't kill the market. Just give a
Yeah,
few away. Here they go.
I um before we talk about your Pepes, first, why don't you tell me how you found out about crypto and then what kind of inspired you to make your first purchase?
Uh, hmm. So back in, I think it was 2012, I started hearing about Bitcoin, and I
Mhm.
was like, internet money, huh? Man, because I've been on the internet since the 90s. So I'm like, okay. And just started dabbling then, buying a few Bitcoins here and there, and they were cheap back then, like a couple $100, whatever. But nothing big. Because I didn't even know what it really was. So we had a few Bitcoin, ended up not even getting access to them by the time we figured out that it was going to be something later on because we couldn't get into the account. But anyway, long story short, I liked the freedom of transaction that it offered. And then once I really started looking into it, I realized it was like actually a lot even, it's more than that. It's freedom of everything, basically.
Yeah. I mean, and
Yeah.
then what we're witnessing right now is kind of like the um
It's like
everything is aligning to where like we're in this really kind of um like crux where all of these global central banks and governments are trying to foist on us like
they're
the
trying to they're trying to go
yeah the complete opposite of freedom of money, which is surveillance money and money that they can freeze at any time. So
uh-huh uh-huh oh yeah, we
yeah,
sure are, man. So it's very important we keep this thing alive.
yeah, I mean, I feel the same way. I think that it's profoundly important at this point.
Yes
Um,
sir, yes sir.
but yeah, so yeah, so you like, but what inspired you to make your first purchase? Just like to see what it was all about?
Yeah, I was like, you
Mhm.
know what, I set this Coinbase thing up. It's pretty easy.
Mhm.
Okay, you know what, screw it, I'm gonna click buy, just see how
Mhm.
easy it really is. Boom, it came in. I was like, okay, so I got one of these. Now what do I do with it,
Yeah.
and and then I just started kind of like talking to different people and learning as much as I could about it, man. From there, you know, I was
Yeah.
fascinated. I was hooked instantly, and I wanted to bring my own knowledge into it and help as much as I can.
Yeah, it's been a wild ride, for sure.
Oh
Um,
yeah, I agree. I agree.
and the other thing, I was chatting with you a little bit earlier, so why don't you tell me about your background in art and as an artist?
Yeah, so I can remember back when I was young, just little bits and pieces of like Flash, being in the high chair, and mom had me finger painting in the high chair, and I've done various types of art ever since then, all throughout my life. I've done tattoos, like tattooed myself, for instance. I've made a little bit of music, but I was still serving in the military then, so didn't get too heavy into it. I've made jewelry. I've got quite a few different pieces here, you know, just to give you a few examples of types of stuff I can make. Handmade jewelry. I love crystals and rocks, and I'm a rock hound. I've done a lot of digital images, not just Rare Pepe, but like all different types of graphics for people and for myself. I've done physical work. Let me give you an example of that. Let's see here. Let me try to find that Lion-O again that I showed you earlier. Well, here's just a couple. I'll show you these because I don't know where Lion-O went exactly, but I did this one. Then I ended up getting that tattooed. Physical crosshair. But yeah, and I've done some painting, acrylic painting. But I love anything that involves creativity. Yeah.
Yeah,
So that's
you definitely seem really passionate about it.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm very passionate about it. Yes, sir.
Well, you know, so you got involved in crypto pretty early on. So once you found out about Counterparty, well, tell me about what you remember about Rare Pepes and what inspired you to kind of make that leap and just start, again, you have a extensive portfolio of work.
Well, I can remember just seeing these frogs, and I was like, hmm, why is everybody talking about this frog? And I didn't know about Matt Fury and what was it, the Boy Club?
Yeah,
Is
Boys
that?
Club.
Yeah, I didn't know about that at first. I just thought, man, this is cool. All these dudes are talking about this frog, and drawing him. And I want to draw this frog, and I'm going to talk about him too. And we just started going from there. And then I seen they were building this project, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to take a stab at it. And I spent my first $10, submitted a Rare Pepe. Boom, it got approved. And from there, I just sold a little bit, just a few of them to gain more seed money, and I kept on. I went to work all summer long from 2016 on. I was doing nothing but designing Rare Pepe.
That's incredible.
Yeah, that was pretty fun.
Yeah, so once you started, were you collecting and trading too, or were you just selling to just keep keep the process going?
Basically, I just sold enough to keep the
Mhm.
process going, and then
Yeah.
I kind of set on them like a fat
Mhm.
rat, and I
Mhm.
gave a few away to a few people here and there, and but I seen where it was most likely going, so I was
Mhm.
like, I'm going to put dust on these and just sit back and watch and see what happens. And look where we're at now.
Yeah. I mean, it and I guess even in terms of like my long-term vision too, I still think it's just like nascent times. It's still super early. I just
Oh
think.
yeah, very, very early. People look at my Buddha Pepe,
Mhm.
Medicine Pepe, you know, Pepe Adams. They look at those and they're like, that's high issue. And I'm like, no, it ain't really, if you think about it.
Yeah.
How many people are in the world? Over 7 billion. How many is that issue? 91,337 for the highest. That's
Yeah.
nothing. That's
Well,
nothing.
that's what that's what I say to people too, is that, there's this kind of this stigma for anything that's over 100 supply. I mean, even if it's like 300 or 1,000 or
Yeah.
10,000 or whatever. And
And
that's
that's
what I
really
say too, is
not the
that,
way to look at it.
yeah, exactly. It's like, well, when you look at it in a global context, like of collectors, I think it's going to be really hard. And I don't know when it's going to be, if it's 5 years, 10 years. I think it's going to be pretty much impossible to own a 100 or 1,000 supply. It's there's more than 1,000 people that are going to be willing to buy any
You're
individual piece.
right.
Yeah.
You just said it.
So, that's my vision. Of course I could be smoking crack, but
No, no, man. Hey, I could be too, but I don't. All I
yeah,
do is vape. All I do is vape hemp and nicotine.
yeah,
But I'm with you on that.
yeah,
So
yeah. So yeah, I agree. It's interesting that we can still afford to pick up these cards right now. But I guess circling back to your first card again is one of my favorites you produced is Power to Pepe.
power to Pepe.
You wanna tell us about your idea for that?
Man, I seen this frog was taking over, so I'm like,
Mhm.
he's like got his own currency and stuff too. So I'm like, so what if he had his own Federal Reserve? So it was like power to Pepe. Open up his little shop, and we all go to his shop instead of that shop.
Yeah, exactly. That's awesome. Yeah, yeah, again, like kind of like inherent in crypto is this for people, at least early on, is that, fuck the central banks essentially. So, you know,
No comment.
yeah, exactly. Well, sorry, yeah. Uh, well, why don't you tell me about your second Pepe, which is Sphinx Pepe?
Sphinx Pepe. So I've always wanted to go to Egypt. I've got my passport, and I will get there now eventually, for sure. It's just a matter of time and getting there. But I feel like Sphinx Pepe has a lot to tell the world that a lot of the world is just missing, and I feel like Pepe does too. So I combine the two, made my own twist.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. I think that's a positive message too, because it's easy to get kind of caught up in all the negativity that goes around.
Peace and love. That's all we need to focus on. Oh,
Yeah,
and rare Pepe
yeah,
and blockchain
yeah,
and no, I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
yeah, man. And what was the inspiration for Python Pepe?
Python Pepe. So there was this exchange back in the day. It was called Tux Exchange.
Hmm.
I believe there's some Canadians that ran it, and I can't recall the exact guy's name. But one of the mods came to me and he was like, will you design me an asset?" And of course, I obliged. And I just that's he was like, "I don't really care what you make, man. Just make something, and I want to footwork, put all the funding and everything for it. Just do the design." And he gave me a lot of it, and he loved it instantly. He didn't even tell me to redo it. He just like, yeah, 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 I like it. And that's how Python Pepe came about, man.
Did you also do Tux Pepe as well?
No,
No, okay.
no,
Yeah, well that's cool. Yeah,
yeah,
and USMC Pepe is another interesting one.
yes, sir. So
Yeah,
that one, I just wanted to pay homage to the Marines, and I had a buddy that was a Marine. Actually, funny story, most of those are locked in eternity forever now. If you noticed, they haven't
I
moved.
did. Yeah.
That's because my buddy was a Marine, and I did that in honor of him, and I gave all of them to him, and I told him to hold on to those words for dear life, and he didn't do it.
Oh no.
Yep. But
Right.
anyway,
Yeah,
wrecked.
I always wondered why most of the supply was locked. So
Now you know.
yeah, yeah, bummer.
Yeah.
Well, one of one of your fun cards too is Rags to Pepe. Why don't you tell me the story on that one?
So that's kind of like basically how I see myself with Rare Pepe. When I first started, I didn't have much. I had a laptop, it was busted. I was on regular old school Microsoft Paint, and I had like a few bucks to my name. I was barely getting by. I was in rags. And the $10 I started out with turned into what you see in the second version of the Rags to Pepe, a king, baby. And it was all because of Pepe.
Yeah, man, that's awesome. And I think we haven't seen the end of it too. Like you said, in another
Nope.
5 or 10 years, it'll be interesting to see where we're at.
Oh, it'll be Alpha Omega.
Yeah. Yeah, and Buddha Pepe's is also I always like the design on that one, and I it
Thank
doesn't
you.
get a lot of love because it's a high supply, but I always thought it was a really clean card.
Oh, watch me work, brother. I'm networking all this stuff, and I'm doing it casually behind the scenes here and there. And but I'm gonna keep working and distributing. And you see me here. Hi, yeah, this is for more than one reasons, and part of it is distribution and marketing. I gotta get us out there, bros. Help me out.
Yeah, well, I'll have to give away some Buddha Pepes to some listeners. So,
Yes,
uh,
sir. Put them Rare Pepe addresses in the comments.
yeah,
Oh,
exactly,
give us a like and also check the description and visit my website. Check out the exhibit.
exactly. And Fisher Pepe is your next one too.
Mm,
Which I
yep,
thought was a good one using the little Pepe cash symbol, right?
yep, yep. Uh, and Bitcoin. Yeah,
Mhm.
he's fishing. He's fish. He pulls up Bitcoin. And basically, I'm a fisherman, avid fisherman in real life. Always have been. And wrote a little poem, and people love poems, and I wanted to make a Fisher card. So that's Fisher Pepe.
Okay. Yeah.
And
Cool.
I was also first dabbling in animation with those assets.
Okay.
Uh,
Yeah, I was going to ask because that I noticed that a couple of those were GIFs. For
yeah.
someone like myself with no experience, that would be kind of like probably a steep learning curve to create that.
Yeah, it took a little while, but
Mhm.
I was persistent, man. Like the whole summer I was working
Mhm.
trying to figure out anything I didn't know. I was Googling it, asking people and trying to
Did,
apply myself and learn it.
did you use Paint for the GIFs too?
MS Paint, and then there's this program called GIF Maker,
Okay.
and you can do all types of different stuff on there with it. Mm, yeah.
Okay. Yeah,
And if
cool.
you want to learn more offline about that, man, hit
Yeah.
me on the DM.
Okay. Sure. And
Yeah.
Power to um well, that's mislabeled. Your it's the Holy Pepe, I think, is your
Yeah.
next one.
Yeah, so that's basically a depiction, my depiction of the Holy
Mhm.
Trinity.
Mhm. Yeah,
Nice and simple.
yeah, petrified. And what I always thought this one really stuck out because I remember I went to high school with someone I later found out got became a furry. So so Fluffy Pepe's is a fun one.
Yep. So Fender Smile designed that one originally, and she wanted me to help her kind of soup it up a little and help her get
Mhm.
it into an asset. So Fenris Mao is the designer of that one.
Okay.
We
Yeah, I always
worked
thought
we worked together on it though.
okay. Yeah, I thought that was a fun one. Um
Oh yeah,
and and as a nerd who used to play video games growing up, I always really liked Boy too.
yeah, man. That was one of my favorite games, bro. I
Yeah.
love that game. I still do.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's funny.
you
that's one
all
of
the
the
people
things with the
chasing you when you're blasting them with the newspapers and pissing everybody off.
it's funny how some of those games still hold up today, a lot better
Oh
than
yeah,
the fancier ones.
oh yeah, man. Speaking of games. I've got some ideas. If you're a coder, I got the art. I want to make a game. Throw that in the comment too.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. If you've got the skills, let's hear about it.
Let's talk.
And again, another fun one, which I think kind of captures one of those like moments in time was is Pepe Angry, which is the Angry Birds, right?
No comment. It's a Pepe angry man.
Yeah. I, I just remember back then when people were enthralled with iPads and like that was one of
Yeah.
the first like
Remember what was it, Flappy Rocket or whatever?
Flappy Bird.
That one.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, that was cool.
Yeah. One of those some of those early iPad games that really like blew up.
Oh yeah, yeah, those are fun.
Yeah, and your next one is three Pepes.
So three Pepes. I was just being creative and using learning how to mess with the translator and
Mhm.
wanted to apply a few different designs, and boom, three Pepes was born.
Yeah,
And
that's
it's a popular depiction. Everybody knows. Hear
yeah.
no evil, see no evil, speak no evil.
Yeah, and Pepe Paradise. What's the inspiration there?
That is where we want to be right now. We want to be on an island ultimately. So that's our depiction of how it'd be. We'd be some Pepes on an island. Pepe Paradise.
Yeah, it sounds pretty good.
Sounds good to me, brother.
And thinking Pepe has always been another an interesting one. And I just learned that's you actually did that a physical for that, right?
Yes, sir. That started out as an acrylic painting,
Mhm.
and then I took it on and altered it digitally.
Yeah. So what did you use to photograph that? Like just a little camera?
My phone.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah,
And
man.
yeah, another kind of like classic inspiration there. Um,
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I'm a thinking man, so I wanted to do a thinking Pepe, and I put the cosmos behind it a little bit there.
Mhm. Oh, I see. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. And medicine Pepe is your next one as well.
yeah. So Fenris Mal, once again, she contracted me to do an asset, and I'm quarter Cherokee, so I was like, I want to do one to represent my heritage, the Cherokee, and she was like, cool. So I started whipping it up, hand drawing it, and transferred it again. Most likely it was through phone. Yeah, it was through phone. And same thing as three Pepes. Added a little effect here and there. Now it is what you see.
Yeah, you should frame your physicals, man. That's pretty impressive.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you. I've actually framed one of my not physical,
Hmm.
but I did this one digitally and
Hmm.
brought it into the physical realm. Hold on,
Okay, yeah.
I'll show you here. And this is one of my favorite ones I've ever even done, so I had to do it and get it for myself.
Oh yeah, that's sweet.
Yeah, this is again the island I'm envisioning. I'm manifesting my island. Yeah.
I'll have to come visit, man.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. All Pepes are welcome on our island.
Yeah, that's rad. And
Thanks.
what was your idea with Grand Pepe?
So I wanted to do another hand drawn because they were doing a
Mhm.
hand drawn series at the time,
Mhm.
and I don't know. I just kind of something about the classic grandpa sitting there playing the banjo, and someone in my family actually played the banjo. So boom, Grand Pepe.
Okay, that's cool. I know a lot of people really like Optimus Pepe.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Autobots roll out.
Yeah. Yeah, that I used to watch the Transformers stuff as a kid, so
Me
I
too,
think
bro. And you know my favorite though? Thundercats ho!
oh yeah, man. Yeah, that was definitely good times. I don't think there's a Thundercats Pepe in the OG directory. I don't think
Man, I've got a Thunder Pepe reserved and
Mhm.
I have yet to drop it. So stay
Okay.
tuned. Stay tuned.
Maybe coming to a new directory sometime soon.
Might be on that elite exhibit if you just keep your eye open.
Yeah. Yeah, you know, and you know, your next one is was one of the most like used memes back in the day, which is that Pepe Hope.
Yes,
Man,
sir.
that meme was just everywhere. So it's cool that you
Yes, sir.
made a Pepe out of it.
Had to, and I had to give Pepe hope.
Mhm. Yeah, that's a great one.
Thank
Um,
you. Thank you.
it, I mean, again, that when you talk about like you know, images that or memes that have the most exposure, that was one of the biggest ones from that decade. So definitely cool.
Most definitely. Iconic. And Pepe, Rare Pepe is iconic. So I combined the two.
Mhm. Yeah, that's cool. And so is Sojourn Pepe another vision of your island?
You guessed it.
Yeah, and is was that a digital or was that a physical that you did
That
for?
was that was all digital.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah, man, and I'm assuming Humble Pepe is a continuation of the island theme.
Well, once again, manifesting, manifesting, manifesting until it becomes what? Reality. It
Yeah, I can't wait to I can't wait to see that happen, man. It's gonna be great.
will. You're invited, you know?
Yeah, and it's definitely not going to be Epstein's Island. It's going to be like a nice.
No, no. Hey, all you got to do is have one of our assets, any of them in your wallet, and you're welcome on the island. And if you're an Epstein, you're gonna see how hungry the sharks get.
Manifest them a meal.
Just saying. Hope you can swim, fellas.
You know, one of your cards I always wanted to ask about is Degener Pepe, which I just got recently. I
Yeah.
always wondered, like, of all the people, why make a Pepe of her though? It seemed like really random.
Well, think about her name first of all.
Mhm.
D Gen.
Yeah. Okay.
Ner Pepe.
Mhm.
Yeah. And also, I asked my stepdad for a suggestion. I was like, is there a concept that you think that I should make? And he was like, what about Ellen DeGeneres? And then I thought about her name and it just clicked, bro. And I started whipping it up.
Yeah. Well, that's cool. Yeah, I couldn't tell, but yeah, like the name totally makes sense.
My
So,
stepdad actually hand drew the Pepe Paradise as well.
oh, no way.
Yes, sir.
That's
And
cool.
then I brought it digital and made it what you see now. Yeah. And I want to bless him, guys. So if you could help me get those sold, almost pretty much all that money's going to him.
Yeah, for sure. And well, we can put a link. Is there are you going to have a link to your OpenSea or to your sales on here?
Right there on the exhibit.
Okay, great. Um, yeah, man. And what I can't Pepe Cat coin is your next one.
Uh-huh. Yep.
Yeah, so that's just modeled off of, it looks like a euro, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
Hmm.
And then I just threw the Pepe on there, and because they were talking at the time about making a game, and some of these were going to be used as assets for the
Hmm.
game and such. So I'm like, we need a coin. Obviously, I'll throw this out there, Pepe Cat coin. That's what that
Okay.
was basically. Yeah, but we got about 15 left. If you want to continue talking about the art or anything else you want to touch on before we
Yeah,
wrap up.
sure. Um, I guess we can skip to like the director Pepe then. So
Oh yeah,
that's a was that a initially low supply or was that a burn down?
that was initially low, I believe it was.
Okay.
Don't quote
Yes.
me though, because I can't
Yeah.
completely recall that. I got a bad little memory issue here and there.
Yeah, yeah, for
But
sure.
I believe that was a 10 issue. If not, it was 100 and we burnt 90. But I think it was just 10 starting out, if I remember right.
Okay. Yeah, what was the
Yeah.
idea with the low issuance on that?
So we wanted it to be rare.
Hmm.
There's only so many directors.
Hmm.
So, and one, I wanted it to be rare. And I got permission to put the rare Pepe asset in the back, as you see.
Hmm.
And, and I put a subliminal in there. If you think you know what the subliminal is behind this rare Pepe and what the message is on Director Pepe, leave that in the comments. We'll see who knows.
Yeah, man. Um, well, okay, so I guess we've covered most of your cards. We still got enough time. We can cover Pepe Adams.
Sure. Adam's Family, especially the old school, is one of
Mhm.
my favorite shows ever, man. And so I wanted to pay homage to the OG.
Yeah, yeah, that's a it's a fun one.
Oh yeah.
And Choco Pepe is the last one in your list.
Uh-huh. Yeah, Choco Pepe, man. I just threw something together. My buddy, Rabid Marine, again,
Mhm.
back to USMC Pepe. He was like, I'm like, so what else do we need? He's like, man, make some chocolate, bro. So I'm like, here's a Choco Pepe then. Here you go. Yeah, nothing big on that one.
Yeah,
We just like some chocolate, man.
yeah, and so you created a ton of cards, and like you said, you kind of bootstrapped it all off of $10. And you had the like really impressive to have the vision to hold on to a bunch too. Um,
Yeah.
so
I'm controlling supply on a majority for a reason.
yeah,
I'm not trying to wreck the floor. Every now and then I will bless people on the market here and there. They got an order in. I don't mind filling. I'll throw a fill on it. But overall, though, I'm just trying to help people. I've already helped myself. Now I'm trying to help other people too. And I still would like to get an island though. But that's all I'm doing. I mean, I'm securing the majority of the supply on a lot of these, and I'm not trying to wreck them. I'm trying to build with them and grow.
yeah, for sure. Yeah, I mean, it's interesting to see the different approaches different the artists have taken with their assets, and it
Absolutely.
definitely paid off for the artists who still control most of the supply. So
Absolutely. And
yeah,
it also pays off for the holders of those artists.
yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we've gone through your directory of cards, and so I guess I'd also just ask is like looking back, how do you feel about having participated and being one of the largest, most prolific artists, in Rare Pepes.
Man, it's been nothing but an honor, fellas. And I can't wait to make more memories and more adventures.
Yeah, man. Uh, so I guess the other thing I'd ask you, so, um, do you have any other projects or anything else that you're working on that you want to share with the audience, or things that you're looking
Uh,
forward to?
yeah, anything I create, pretty much, you'll be able to hear a little bit about it here and there on my Elite exhibit that we're gonna plug in the description.
Okay. Yeah,
And
that's
there are plenty of things going on up here that might appear there. Yes.
okay, cool. Yeah, well, I can't wait to see what you do with your your Thunder Pepe.
Yeah, I've actually got the image. I got to figure out where I tucked it, and then I'll get back on that actually. Come out with it soon, probably.
Hey, that'd be cool to see you submit a fake or a dank or something with it. So that'd be rad.
Depending on what projects are still accepting,
Yeah,
I might do that. If you got a project you want me to add that to, and
yeah,
I can submit to it. Go ahead and throw that in the description too. Let me know what's open.
yeah. It sounds good. Um, and I guess you've been in crypto for a long time. I guess kind of wrapping up is what are you really looking forward to or paying attention to going forward? And same thing with NFT scene. What interests you right now, and what are you looking forward to going forward?
With crypto,
Yeah,
okay, I'm gonna put this in one word. You want to guess the word?
freedom.
You get it. You're on it, man. You got it. Freedom.
Yeah, man. I do hope things work out for the best with we're in such a time of change, put it that way, with all this stuff. So
We're going through changes. Yeah.
yeah, and I guess I'd also ask you too. I mean, again, you've contributed to what I think is one of the most important, vintage NFT collections, and you've got that work behind you. I mean, like? What are you looking forward to in terms of NFTs or even your own personal artwork going forward?
You mean what do I plan to do with the artwork,
Yeah,
or
what like what interests you going forward in terms of like your art, or what's your inspiration going forward?
just making more,
Mhm.
creating? When I sit here and I start to create, I connect to higher power, and I won't stop creating.
Mhm.
And so you never know what I'm going to come out with next, to be honest. I just love anything to do with creating and designing.
That's it's really awesome that you have that passion, because again, like we can see it in how prolific you were with Rare Pepe, and I'll just be looking forward to seeing what else you have coming down the pipeline too. You have to keep me in the loop. Um,
Most certainly will do. Stay in the DM, and I got you as a contact, brother.
yeah, yeah, for sure. Certainly been a lot of fun.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, is there anything else you want to touch on before we go? I know you've got a
Uh, One thing
yeah.
I would like to ask you: what inspires you to do what it is you're doing at the moment?
Yeah, so the in terms of this podcast, when I got it, like, went down the rabbit hole with Rare Pepe, is like, gosh, it's been a few years ago. Like, I Pepe pilled a few people I already knew, some friends and family, and
Okay,
one
okay,
thing that was common is, like, they weren't already in crypto, so they didn't understand the memes and the references, and like they didn't like
right,
get it because they weren't
man.
around.
That
Yeah.
kind of like sounds like how my family was. But I'm going back and forth making these Pepes and going back downstairs, and I'm like, you guys, Bitcoin just went freaking nuts, and they're like, what do you mean? I'm like, $2,000. Like, what? Oh my God, $20,000, and they thought I was just like going nuts, but like, then I started pulling racks out of nowhere, and they were like, oh my God, this is crazy.
It's
Definitely
fun.
been a wild ride and a blessing. I'll say that so far.
It's funny too, because I can remember back when, like, Bitcoin was like 600 and 1,000
Yep, yep,
and
yep.
whatnot, and like shilling like friends and family, and absolutely no one buying any. It's like, oh look,
Nobody.
they all look at you like you're stupid, you know? It's like,
And now they all come to you like, so how do I buy those Bitcoin things again?
yeah.
Oh, you want to buy it now? Oh, yeah. You know what? It's still not too late. Let's go. Come here. I'll show you how. Come here.
Yeah, man, it's I would rather
Tell everybody, even grandma, buy Bitcoin, grandma. Remember mason jars, grandma? This is a way better mason jar, grandma. Get tucking.
yeah. I mean, you know, it's like you mentioned, you know, I saw a story recently where, you know, someone passed and they found their life savings and it was all in like paper money. And by
Yep.
the like just in the time that they had found it, it had gone down in value by like
Yep.
60%, you know, it's
Yep. Yeah.
crazy.
It's either rare pepes or precious metals. I don't invest in much.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Well, yeah, but yeah, but my idea was I recognized that there was an opportunity to help the rare pepes and the NFT scene by just providing more
well,
context and education.
well,
Because
man, I appreciate what you're doing. This is awesome.
yeah,
You've done
like
some great work.
oh thanks. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
because like I dug in and I fell in love with it, and I knew that
Me too.
if other people like had that bridge to explore it and actually understand it, then they would I think they would naturally, you know, come to the same conclusion, you know.
I believe so too. Yes, most definitely. But you know, a lot of them just see these frogs and they're like, "Oh, and it's all about politics." No, it's not. No, it's not. We talk about a few politics, but it's way deeper than just politics.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, there's so many different levels to you know, to crypto and rare pepes and all
Yes.
this stuff, you
Yes.
know. And
Yes.
that's what you know, and you know, and outside of politics is capturing some of the funny moments of the day. Like you know, like I always really like the Carlos Matos Pepes, you know, for the
Oh yeah.
Bitcoin.
Big Gunday. They got me for $2,000, by the way.
Did he?
Yeah, he sure did. He got me.
That's what
I even went and took a loan out for Carlos.
no, no. Oh man.
Rare Pepe didn't let me down though.
Yeah. Yeah, rare Pepe for real life, man.
Yes, sir.
Well, I know you got to go, so I'll wrap up the recording now.